Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Neglected by His Parents and Got Op Gaming System Part 2. Before we start, please go support Kuroka 100 for writing that awesome fanfic. It's here. Soon after the sun had set, Issei and Kuroka both arrived at the house holding hands and acting all lovey-dovey with each other. They said they had something important to attend to, so why are they acting all lovely with each other? A curious Nico asked herself. Kaneko? Why are y'all acting so? Issei. No reason at all, just thought of much things happened today. Kaneko. So how'd things go with your important work? Kuroka. It went nice, it was a bit complicated but great, now it was exhausting and full of lots of things. Kaneko. Sounds like y'all had it rough. Issei Kuroka. Why yeah. Kaneko noticed they're weird and started looking at them with the intentions of finding something, and she'd noticed the clothing both were wearing. Kaneko. So this important place, tell me more about it, in private, separated from each other. Both Kuroka and Issei knew they had been discovered, and so on came out nothing but the truth. Kaneko. So you lied to me, it wasn't important business. Kuroka. Kaneko, it was important, or at least I think so, no, it was definitely important to me. Kaneko. You still lied to me. Kuroka. Because you would have followed us around all day. Kaneko. So what, I would have done that, but I'm only trying to look out for the both of you. Issei. Hey both of you St. Kuroka. Kaneko, you go to school with him, on top of that you see him at home all day. Kaneko. What does that have to do with this? Kuroka. You get to spend more time with him, it's unfair, and even so, I give you your privacy, especially when I see you're with him. Kaneko. Kuroka. And even now, on the day I get to have Issei for myself, you're jealous, it's unfair. Both girls continued to argue as it escalated even more. Kaneko. It's that why you. Kuroka. You don't even know what you're feeling, but it's clear to me, you're still annoyed by what happened on that day. Kaneko. If you didn't open your legs and take advantage of him, maybe just maybe things would have been different, you knew I wanted to marry him, you knew I loved Issei, you knew that. Kuroka. Grow up, that's in the past, so what if I took his first time, so what if he took my first time, the important thing is he took your first time. So stop crying like a little girl about something like that, grow up. Kaneko in a fury slapped Kuroka while saying, I hate you, she then ran out of the house, as Kuroka got slapped and hearing her words, she looked down in shame and sadness. Issei. Kuroka, I'll go after her, but are you alright? Kuroka. Why yes there's no problem I'm fine. Issei. You're hurt, if you want to cry don't hold back, I'll be here, I'll listen to you, I'll bear it through with you, a while ago, I said your pain is my pain, and mine is yours. Kuroka. You forgot the part where you. Issei. And I'll choose both of you, Kuroka I love you, and I don't want to see you in pain, and if you're in pain, then let me be there, let me feel it, it's okay to cry, and the ones who accept this will live better, because they won't let the pain tear them up, instead they'll rely on others for help. Kuroka looked at Issei and slowly from a pained expression it went to emotional one. Kuroka started to cry as she hugged Issei tightly, am I bad sister? Kuroka asked as she cried no, you're the best sister anyone could ever have. Another 15 minutes passed by and Kuroka's emotional pain stabilized and as this happened, Issei left the house as fast as he could, where could she have gone to? Issei asked himself as he looked for her. 5 minutes ago, it's been 10 minutes since I left, should I have done that? I'm such a horrible sister and a person too, she probably hates me, Kaneko asked herself as she was wandering around aimlessly, but as she did that, something started to emerge from the ground up in a liquid way. Kaneko wondered what that was, but as it formed, a domain was instantly put in place, and the now giant creature let out a very loud screech. Back with Issei. System. Sagai class detected 1.6 miles northwest from your current location, a domain is in place, as if right now. Issei. So it's starting now huh, how much time? System. The event has accelerated and become unpredictable temporarily, the event is in place currently. Issei. Damn it, I have to find Kaneko quick. System. Kaneko is 1.6 miles northwest from out location, furthermore she is located within the domain. Issei wasted no time and he instantly blitzed as fast as he could to the barrier. When Issei arrived not even half a second later, he broke into the barrier easily and as he did that, his first sight was the sight of blood all over the place. Rage system acquired, fusion gained activated. Issei. Huh? Wait. Issei looked further ahead and he'd see Kaneko bloody and hurt and bleeding lots. Issei. Kaneko, no Kaneko. Kaneko is only hurt, but Issei's taking this as she's about to die. Curse system. As Issei called out Kaneko's name she never responded and the Sagai ranked monster roared out in anger. Issei on the other hand wasn't faced by the roar at all, he was too angry, sad and lusting for blood. System. Name. Issei. Name. Chisu. Blood in Japanese. Race. Human. Race. Geodemon. Rank. Boss layer. Rank. Sagai. Level. 112. Level max. Health. 112k 112k. Health. 652k 652k. Stamina. 120k 120k. Stamina. 500k 500k. Strength. 12,000. Strength. 328k. Speed. 9,990. Speed. 10k. Endurance. 24,936. Endurance. 40k. Defense. 12,940. Defense. 500k. Magic power. 14,000. Magic power. 11k. System. Current system uploading. Process complete. Curse system unlocked. User is unable to act independently. Dependent action is required. System activation sequence 543210. Curse system substitution successful. Auto-combative system activated. Cursed form Kquime activated. Issei's body started to get consumed by a dark aura-like substance, and his hair started to lose pigmentation. After a couple of seconds his body, hair and eyes were all different. Issei's hair was white, he'd grown 2 horns, and his eyes were now red with black slits in the middle of his eyes, and his body was different, it was darker due to the aura, a darkened pair of wings sprouted from his back. This transformation made Issei seem inhuman. System, Issei Kquime form, health. 390k 390k, strength. 720k, stamina. Infinite, speed. 100k, defense. 190k, endurance. 200k, magic power. 100k. Skills abilities. Fusion. Fusion is an ability that allows the user to combine abilities of all kind. It also serves as a storage for users' many abilities. Issei. Where am I? Where's Kaneko? System. You are currently within a domain produced by the system's program. It is space in which the host is immediately transferred mentally into in order to keep his sanity at a minimum level. Issei. What are you talking about? System. Emotional stabilizer activate. Issei. Waga. Issei passed out in this mental state as the system stabilized him emotionally. For the remaining time Issei would be unconscious. The system will do the fighting. Out in the real world. Japanese news. Breaking news: all of Japan is experiencing a magnitude 6.3 earthquake alongside category 2 hurricanes with winds reaching 97 miles per hour. We imply that you stay in your homes and do not leave. Surziches. Graphia, something's wrong, I can feel it, supernaturals are involved, alert the other heads, we must stay on guard. Graphia. Of course Urzich's Sama. In the domain. Geodemon. Roar. The Geodemon roared loudly as it blitzed towards Issei at very high speeds. Issei dodged almost instantly. The Geodemon then kept attacking Issei over and over with his tail, fist and feet. Issei dodged all of its attacks by a hair. Issei extended his arm out and opened the palm of his hand. It was then that tons of magic strikes came flying at the Geodemon. Each of the strikes were heavily fortified with tons magic and his poison ability. The Geodemon created a magic shield-like wall, but even though the wall was created, tons of the strikes made their way in, with some even breaking through the shield. The monster was hurt but still able to fight, and due to its endurance and defense, it didn't take as much damage as one would think, but Issei, seeing that it still stood undefeated, it blitzed almost as fast as light to the creature, and as he do that, Issei delivered a couple thousand punches within a few seconds. Geodemon's health. 497k 652k. The Geodemon roared out once again and used an attack that the current system controlling Issei couldn't read nor comprehend. The Geodemon had used a combination of lightning and dark crystals in this attack. The violent reaction from both the lightning and the dark crystals touching created an explosion that caused the air molecules around them to expand and directly split the atoms inside the molecules in half, causing them to explode with the force of a nuclear bomb. Little boy, fat man. As this chain reaction of many explosions happened, the systems instantly teleported Kaneko away from the domain. Due to this action, Issei's body took quite a little bit of damage. These explosions did disorient the system from processing properly for a little bit of time, but due to the fast healing properties Issei has from the skill faster healing, he was quickly healing from the explosions. System's domain. Issei. My body feels weird. System. You're in a state of regaining consciousness as your body is currently in combat. Issei. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Wait, Kaneko, where is she? Is she alright? System. Kaneko has been relocated but still in critical condition. At this time you're in combat that may prove to be tricky and hard to handle. Issei. Damn it, system, where Kaneko? System. I suggest you exterminate the Sagai. There will be a 23% chance Kaneko lives, but if you choose to save Kaneko right now, Kaneko and you may die. If you die, Kaneko will 100% die. Treating Kaneko's wounds would prove to be too much to handle at the same time as fighting the Sagai. Issei. How long will it take? System. The abilities of the Sagai are still unclear to my examinations, so with the information collected right now, the suspected time is 13 minutes. Issei. How much blood has Kaneko lost and how much time does she have? System. She has lost a total of 24% of her blood. It's estimated that she has 16 minutes left till she's untreatable. Issei. Then let's do this, let's kill this Agai. System. Auto-combative system disengaged, host has successfully regained control. Issei then gained control over his body once again, but feeling strange Issei wondered why he felt so much lighter and stronger. System. Issei, you feel much stronger because right now you're in a form called Kquime. Issei. That's good to hear, now let's kill this. Extermination. Issei. That's good to hear, now let's kill this. Issei looked at the Sagai ranked monster and activated his Sharingan, and filled with hatred, his eyes started to bleed and burn. Issei didn't know it at that moment, but he had unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan. Though Issei was mad, he was still in control of himself. Issei unintentionally activated one of his Mangekyo abilities. This ability was Blood Craver. Blood Craver. Blood Craver allows user to gain control over blood. It could be used in many ways. It also allows the user to heal others or himself with minimal effort. The Sagai didn't hesitate to rush at Issei, and as the Sagai got in front of Issei, it slashed at him. Issei had already seen this coming and dodged while summoning Excalibur rapidly. Once Issei dodged the attack, he'd slash upwards and then thrust Excalibur into the Sagai's lower hip. Issei and the Sagai continued this for about 12 minutes, and the battle was already decided by then. Reason being is that the Sagai already had many acute and deep wounds from Excalibur. Issei raised his hand in the air, calling down many magic shots. The repeated strikes lasted for 3 minutes, and now the Sagai was unable to move, so Issei started walking towards the creature, after he'd already been in front of the monster. Issei took one look at the Sagai's throat, and shortly after he'd crushed the Sagai's throat with his mere foot, Issei then sliced its head clean off. Issei. System, where's Kaneko? System. Kaneko's last known position was. Issei took down the barrier by force and dashed out to find Kaneko, and as he reached the area where she was last, he'd let see a trail of blood. Issei followed the trail of blood, but to his horror, she wasn't anywhere to be found. Issei. Where is she? System. It seems her trail of blood ends here, she must have escaped or someone aided her in doing so. Issei started to revert back to his original form, shortly after a weird flying creature came forth and introduced itself as a familiar of Ria's grimoire. It then gave Issei a letter intended for him. It relays the preceding words. Letter. Issei, if you're reading this, you must be worried about Kaneko. She's fine now, she's just asleep and recovering. Come to if you wish to see her. Also, there are a few things I'd like to talk about, such as. Issei. So the grimoires have her, they say she's fine by. System. Her vitals seem to be stabilized, so she is most definitely fine. Something unknown has happened to her on the other hand. System. I'd suggest you tell your lover Kuroka about the events that had unfolded. Issei. You're right, but I should ask, would I have made it to her in time? System. It took you 14 minutes to kill the Sagai. It then took you a minute and a half to get here, leaving 30 seconds left. Kaneko might have died working this time if she wasn't saved by the grimoire girl. Issei. It seems I owe her one big time. Issei went home to Kuroka and explained everything that happened. Kuroka was saddened by glad to hear she's not in any more danger, so both Issei and Kuroka waited for the next day and the day after that. Both Kuroka and Issei had not slept in this time as they were worried sick for Kaneko, so on the date that Ria's grimoire had appointed had finally arrived, Issei went alone to the place where they'd meet up. At the Grimoire Infirmary Hospital, Issei upon arrival he was greeted by a few maids that had kindly led him to where Ria's was. This also happened to be Kaneko's hospital room. Issei enters the room. Ria's. Well, hello Issei, I assume you know why you're here, so let's get straight to the case. As you might know, Kaneko was badly lethally wounded. She was close to death when I found her, but even so she still showed strength by being able to talk in the state she was in. Issei. I'm listening, please go on. Ria's. She asked me for power and to save her I told her that I couldn't get her to medical aid in time the way she was. She knew and asked to be reincarnated as a devil of the House of Grimoire, and so I did just as she asked. She is now half devil half Nico. Issei. I should have known getting involved with the supernatural was going to be impossible, but I'm glad that we did get involved, for if it wasn't for you Kaneko might have. Ria's. Issei, may I ask something, what is your goal? Issei. My goal, that's simple, I aspire to. Grimoire's involvement. My goal, that's easy, I aspire to gain the strength to defeat anyone and everyone that way. I will never have to see another loved one suffer, Issei said as he closed his eyes. Ria's. Interesting, most men nowadays and throughout history have only ever wanted to have money, fame and girls, but you're different. Issei. How so? Ria's. Well, to begin with, you're not mentioning wanting more girls and you're not a musclehead. You really do care about Kaneko, and you're strong, but don't boast about it. Issei. That's a bit of information, but I must say this, your eyes seem interesting, sad, strong and determined. In Ria's head. How he's reading my eyes like a book, he knows something wrong, he perfectly described me. Yet another reason why Ria's was interrupted midway through her thoughts. Issei. But please allow us to get back at the subject at hand. Ria's. Yay, back to the subject and reason you're here. Issei. Before we begin, please do tell me, are you feeling well? You seem to be bright red, a fever perhaps. Ria's. Blushes and no, I'm not ill at all, it's due, please let's get back to the reason you're here. Issei. Very well then, let's proceed. Ria's. Okay, so I've already informed you of the events that took place on my side when I found Kaneko. I'd like to ask about that giant power surge I sensed. Issei. That was me and the Sagme and a monster fighting. Ria's. I see, if that's the case then, I assume you must have gone full power. Issei. Yes. Ria's. I believe you have the ability to sense others' strength through aura. Issei. And how would you jump to such a conclusion? Ria's. First you were able to sense Sona, she mentioned that she was hiding her presence, then there was Serafal, she mentioned something around the lines that you said, I should be able to take you, and after that when my brother arrived you backed down after a little skirmish. Issei. Your ability, I put 2 and 2 together, is great, I can sense auras, but not exactly the way one would think. Ria's. Alright, now I have a favor, can you spar with my elder brother? Issei. Sure. Ria's. Thank you, I'll call him over now, meanwhile please do make yourself at home here, Kaneko should be waking soon. Ria's took her leave. Issei. Kaneko, you put me through some trouble, but thank fate and Ria's for your well-being. Issei talked to an unconscious Kaneko for what seemed like 39 minutes, but a knock was then heard. Surzich's and Ria's walk in. Surzich's. So I hear my young sister has gone and set up a match between us. Issei. You know I actually asked for this. Surzich's. Oh, is that so? Well then I'd be glad to spar. Ria's. Alright, both of you come this way, I asked Akeno and Grafia to set up a barrier just in case. Issei and Surzich's both followed Ria's to where they'd face off for their match. 15 minutes later, Issei and Surzich's reached the area where they'd face off and began to wait till the barrier that would separate them into a parallel empty dimension was activated. As the barrier was activated, Issei took no chances and went on the offensive limitedly, all while inspecting Surzich's stats. System. Name. Issei. Name. Surzich's. Race. Human. Race. Pure Blood Devil. Rank. Boss Lair. Rank. Great Satan. Level. 112. Level 180. Health. 112k 112k. Health. 500,000 500,000. Stamina. 120k 120k. Stamina. 100,000 100,000. Strength. 12,000. Strength. 16,000. Speed. 9,990. Speed. 4,900. Endurance. 24,936. Endurance. 14,000. Defense. 12,940. Defense. 12,009. Magic power. 14,000. Magic power. 72,000. He hasn't gotten stronger since the last time we met. One thing's for certain though, I'm definitely faster and more durable than him, but then again this isn't that new form Kquime, I'd better keep on the offensive, Issei said to himself as he kept forcing Surzich's to defend. Surzich's looked at Issei and let out a destruction waves at all directions simultaneously. Issei of course kept dodging the attacks with ease. Surzich's took his chances and engulfed his fist with distraction magic and began his offensive bout against Issei. Issei. No matter how much you strike him faster. Surzich's. That may be true, but you underestimate me. Issei closed his eyes as Surzich's was letting massive amounts of destruction magic out into the surrounding and that was affecting Issei's vision. Surzich's, seeing exactly what he had wanted to see, was now even more aggressive in his offense towards Issei. To the surprise of everyone outside of that barrier, Issei with his eyes closed was dodging Surzich's every attack with ease. Surzich's. How? Wait, your senses must be top-notch, incredible. Issei kept dodging until he decided to jump backwards while rotating 90 degrees. While doing the 90-degree spin, Issei had kicked Surzich's twice in the face. Surzich's was sent flying, but not for long as he catches himself before he hit anything. I think I should get serious now, said Surzich's as he cracked his knuckles and smiled. Issei. Oh, how very interesting, you were hiding your true power, smiled slightly, I can't wait to see it. Surzich's started to slowly unleash his powers out slowly and suddenly out of nowhere, he let all of his power burst out, causing a massive earthquake as destruction magic covered so much terrain. Surzich's. Issei, this is true destruction. Issei. I can see, it's no joke, now let me show you my power. Issei transformed into his Akuma form and activated his Mangekyo while summoning Excalibur rapidly. Issei. Let's dance, shall we? Surzich's. Gladly, but can you keep up with me? Issei. That should be my question. Issei. Surzich's. One way to find out. Outside of the parallel dimension. Ria's. Geez, for some reason I can't get the picture of my elder brother dancing with Issei. Rafia. Their choice of words were meant in battle context, not romantic ones. Riaz. I know, it's just they seem completely into it. Rafia. Serziches never gets time to do such things like this, I'd assume he's enjoying this, but Issei, I do not know. Both girls talked while watching this battle unfold via Magic Link. Magic Link allows them to see the battle live. Soon after both transformations were done, their powers were so great that the barrier itself was about to tear down without both fighters knowing. Issei. Are prepared. Serziches. Of course. Issei blitzed Serziches as fast as he could in after image. Behind me, Issei said as he swimmingly cut through the image. Yes, I am behind you, Serziches whispers next to Issei's ear. Serziches then started to move at very high speeds around Issei in a circle, it looked like. Serziches was walking slowly around, but that was the after images. Soon after a few couple hits, Issei started to perceive the next bit and the next one after that. Serziches was closing in for another hit, but Issei tilted his head slightly, completely dodging the attack by a hair. Issei then grabbed Serzich's hand and body slammed him into the ground. The impact of the hit caused a crater several miles big to form, dust covers the skies, and Issei was now fighting Serzich's as he had gotten used to his speed via Sharingan. Serzich's aura was very unpleasant and even very harmful, as it caused tons of the surrounding to get destroyed. Issei. This place is slowly being destroyed. Serzich's. My powers spread out everywhere causing it to get destroyed slowly. The farther I'm away, not too closer I am, the stronger it is. Issei. So kinda like a bacterial disease spreading throughout a body, the closer it is to brain the more dangerous it is. Serziches. Kinda, but the white blood cells aren't there to fight it. Issei. Anyways, let's get in with our fight. Issei and Serziches began their fight as to not waste time. Serziches, who was clearly more powerful than Issei, was being given a fight like no other. His powers, instinct, perception, knowledge and ability to fight and adapt are incredible, Serziches thought to himself. The system notification popped up to Issei. It mentioned curse system ability, curse immunity obtained, curse system Akuma form level 2 reached. The system then stopped talking and Issei grew the biggest smile ever. Akuma stage 2 consume my body and give me your strength, Issei said as a giant explosion radiating black aura engulfed the whole place. It took Serziches a couple seconds to adjust his eyes to that darkened aura that was all over the place, and as he adjusted his eyes, he'd see Issei walking slowly towards him. Issei. Compare our stats. System. Devil vs Akuma shower R18. Issei. Compare our stats. System. Name. Issei. Name. Serziches. Race. Human. Race. Pure blood devil. Rank. Boss layer. Rank. Great Satan. Level. 112. Level 180. Health. 377k 425k. Health. 367k 500k. Stamina. Infinite. Stamina. 59,100,000. Strength. 657k. Strength. 700k. Speed. 193k. Speed. 74k. Endurance. 160k. Endurance. 142k. Defense. 100k. Defense. 127k. Magic power. 190k. Magic power. 325k. Issei. System. Explain Akuma stage 2 a little to me. System. Akuma stage 2 is the incarnation of all the world's evil. This stage also brings a few very strong incantations. The power of this form increases as your normal strength increases. Issei. Well, now I kinda wanna know more. System. Akuma stage 2 is a form that rids yourself of all fear, attachments and the purest of thoughts. The longer one stays in this form, the closer they grow to evil. Issei. So the longer I stay in this form, the most likely I'll become evil. This is a problem in many ways. As Issei was lost in thought, Serziches took this as an opportunity to strike at Issei, but Issei's body forced itself dodge swiftly and without problems. As Issei dodged Serziches' attack, his body countered with an attack of its own. Issei. Huh. What's going on? System. Akuma stage 2 is a form made for combat. It took action to prevent any damage done to you as you were lost in thought. Issei. So I don't have to worry about reacting. System. Akuma stage 2 will force the body to dodge and counter every time you're not capable. Issei. This seems perfect, but the turning evil part doesn't seem to nick bad. Issei's body countered with a move called Bad Omen. This move only caused Serziches to feel a burning sensation in him. Serziches. Issei, this move of yours, it's not all that bad, but that being said, it's nothing to worry about. Issei. Oh yeah. Well, that matters not. I don't even know what that was. Issei vanished from Serziches' view and reappeared behind him. When Issei reappeared behind Serziches, he used a large number of attacks that consisted of attacks such as Magic Shot, Magic Tracing, Quick Strike, Sharpened Claws and Akuma stage 2's signature move Plasma Strike and Bad Omen. Plasma Strike is a move that creates a magic sphere that is then engulfed with Akuma 2's evil energy, which is toxic enough to drop normal humans, with no resistance to energy, such as Senjutsu, dead instantly. Plasma Strike will then after impact explode in the process, releasing all that build-up energy and magic. After Issei hot Surziches with these many attacks, Surziches released waves of destruction energy that was able to push Issei back, causing him minimal damage, but something was bothering Issei. Issei felt his HP going down every second little by little. "Hey, what's this? I feel as if I'm taking damage even without being attacked," asked Issei. "Issei, this is an effect being created by you facing me," said Surziches with a smirk on his face. Issei was confused by this, and the system started talking to Issei. "System? This is not an effect, this is a destructive energy being dispelled around the whole battlefield, in other words AoE." "Issei. Surziches, do you mean that the area is being affected by your destruction energy?" Surziches. How did you find out?" Issei. Surziches, "I'm no fool, I was totally confused," Issei told himself. As Issei said that he'd blitzed to Surziches and began to fight in close quarters combat, both were evading each other's strikes for the most part, but Issei, being faster by almost 3 times, was getting a few hard hits in, but that's not to say Surziches wasn't doing any damage, as his AoE attack was still damaging Issei little at a time. Both fighters kept at it for a while, till both of them were ready to end this match. Issei, health. 58k 425k. Surziches, health. 51.3k 500k. Surziches started to accumulate tons of destruction magic into one single blast, and as Surziches did that, Issei closed his eyes and raised his arm up into the air slowly while chanting something. "O crescent moon which lives in the darkness of outer space, grant me power, the power to smite my enemies underneath your triumphant rule." The clouds darkened and the surrounding grew cold, and still a violent gust of wind came out of nowhere. Surziches felt disturbed as a chill ran up his spine, disturbed as he was still excited for the outcome. As both Issei and Surziches had finished readying their attacks, Surziches unleashed his destruction wave at Issei. It went with extreme precision and power towards Issei. Issei on the other hand opened his eyes, and as he did the surrounding felt the effects of gravity increase by tenfold, and Issei swung his hand down while saying, "Crescent Spear." The darkened clouds were pierced by light blue rays of light, and soon after the spear came forth with unimaginable speed and power, so much so that not even the shape was visible. The sound barrier was shattered completely. Both attacks met and countered one another in the space between both Issei and Surziches. Once both attacks connected, utter chaos ensued. The land all over the country was absolutely destroyed. The ground, skies and seas were swirling around the continent as if you were in the middle of a cyclone. Rocks, water and wind were all over the place, and now this was Issei's terrain. Both Issei and Surziches were very hurt by the explosion created by both attacks, and now they were fighting, but Issei, being faster and more mobile, had a bigger advantage over Surziches. Issei was so focused on beating Surziches that his eyes started glowing bright red. The only thing Surziches could see was the glowing trail of light in his eyes. After 3 minutes of Issei jumping and blitzing around the terrain, he defeats Surziches with a final blow to the gut. As Surziches fell to the ground in defeat, not unconscious, the barrier had reached its limit and broke down to the littlest of magic particles. Raphia. Incredible, this barrier is strong enough to hold all the Dragon Kings, and these two at full power destroyed it. Rias. That's not all of it, they destroyed all of Japan. That wa. Rias was interrupted by Surziches and Issei laughing loudly. Both were beat and tried not. It was clear to Surziches that Issei is stronger. Surziches. Issei, do you have the ability to passively heal? Issei. Yes I do, why do you ask? Surziches. I just couldn't help it to realize the damage on you was slowly fading away. Issei. Yes I did, in fact I healed lots, but you were still causing more damage than I was healing. Surziches. I'm interested in that form of yours. Issei. Oh you mean my cough. Surziches. I think we should rest for a bit now, I'll be heading home. Issei. Very well, I shall go cough home as well. Rias. Well, Sona's quite an idiot, she messed with him, which was a bad idea. Raphia. The first time I met him I most definitely never sensed his power, he's indeed incredible. Rias and Graphia then lead Issei to the exit. Issei gave his farewells to the both of them and left to go home himself. At home, Hiroka was waiting outside for Issei's return. When Issei showed up, upon seeing his bruised body, Hiroka freaked out and asked Issei what happened as she ran to his side. Issei was more than willing to answer her questions, but he'd need to take a shower first. Issei went into the shower after putting his clothing in the laundry. But a familiar Nico followed Issei into the shower. Hiroka and Issei spoke for a little after she'd sneak in. Issei told Hiroka of the events that had taken place. He also told her how Kaneko was doing and what she decided to do. Hiroka. So she went off and became a devil. That doesn't matter to me, the only thing that matters is that she's okay and no longer in harm's way. Issei. Yeah, hey Kuroka, could you please stop rubbing your hands on my body like that, it's. Kuroka then seductively finished Issei's words as she said, turning you on. Kuroka was behind Issei, and his back was turned to her, so she slowly moved her left hand sliding alongside Issei's wet body until she grabbed a hold of his Excalibur. She then started to press her body up against Issei's back, and due to this Issei was growing restless. Fufu, should I take care of this joystick for you, Naya? Kuroka said in a playfully yet seductive way. Do what you want, Issei said while blushing. He then released the tension in his body. Now that he was relaxed, Kuroka started to stroke slowly. Eventually over time she'd pick up the pace and then slow down as to not have Issei reach his climax. I think it's about time we both enjoyed ourselves, don't you, Issei Naya? Kuroka asked as she kissed him in the neck. Issei grabbed Kuroka's arm and pulled her into the shower. When Kuroka was pulled into the shower, Issei positioned himself in missionary position with Kuroka. Kuroka was taken aback by his sudden shift in attitude. Oh my, looks like you're yearning to be inside me, Naya, Kuroka said playful. Issei without saying a word inserted his hick into Kuroka. Both Kuroka and Issei felt amazing, the warm water droplets hitting their skin while both of them were connected. The sensation of love, pleasure and lust all at the same time made Hex the best feeling ever. 40 minutes had passed by, and Issei and Kuroka were still in the same position as before, and in these 40 minutes Kuroka and Issei had orgasmed together once. They were still far from finishing as Issei was now very active. Issei. Let's change positions. Kuroka. Okay, but I'll take the lead. Both Kuroka and Issei changed into the reverse doggy style. They'd go on to be in this position for another 40 minutes till they reached another climax, but both Kuroka and Issei left it at that for the night. 20 minutes later, Kuroka and Issei had finished washing off, and soon after they'd both make dinner together. They ate, talked and laughed, and soon after they'd go to sleep. Next morning, Issei woke up and received a call from. Typical Dayu. Issei woke up and received a call from Surziches himself. Surziches. Hey Issei, that fight we had was amazing, but I'm still kinda hurt. Issei. I could heal you if you want. Surziches. And no thank you, it's alright. Issei, may I ask something of you? Issei. I still don't know you well enough for favors, but let me hear it. Surziches. Okay, I have a job for you, you'll be paid handsomely if you choose to take it up. Issei. Keep going. Surziches. Well, it's about the Phoenix clan. Issei. Assassinations take up time and covering them is a real big pain, so I won't do those. Surziches. No, not an assassination. I believe you have an interest in my sister or the way you talked about her the other day. Issei. Surziches. Well, glad you're still there. I want you to cut off the marriage between Riaz and Riser Phoenix. Do you think you can do that? Issei. That arrogant flying hot Cheeto is engaged to your sister. Surziches. Ye sighs in defeat. Issei. It's not very smart to talk through call. Meet me elsewhere tomorrow noon, you set up the place. Surziches. Then Issei hung up. Geez, why must I be bothered all the time? I still have school and stuff, Issei said as he got out of bed completely. Leaving so soon? Said a very familiar voice. Issei. Yay, I have to get up, I have school to go to. Kuroka. Fufu, you seem to be up and out of bed and in a foul mood because of school. Issei. It's always like this. Kuroka. That's cute, but why don't I make you happy on this fine morning? Issei. I'm sorry Kuroka, but I have to get breakfast done and stuff. Oh, you're really gonna say no to me and this kitty down here, Kuroka said as she took the covers off and rubbed her entrance with the tip of her fingers. Issei. I really can't ever say no, no matter how many times you do this. Kuroka. Haha, kitty speaks. Issei. Okay, but let's make this really quick, I definitely can't be late for school. Kuroka. Okay, my wov Issei. Issei. That sounded weird coming out of you. An hour and a half later. Shit, system, how long is it gonna take us to get there? Issei said as he was running to school. System. It'll take 14 minutes to this rate of speed you're currently going. You aim reach the school in less than a second if you use your real speed or teleport. Issei. No can do, it's day right now and people are all over the place, is there any shortcuts? System. There aren't any shortcuts available. Ah, this is so frustrating, Issei said out loud as he kept running till he made it to school all sweaty. Riaz Gremory and her group came in right after Issei walking. Issei, I see you've made it on time, said Riaz with a smile. Issei. Yeah, I was actually working out, that's all, and I happened to be a little hit in a rush because if it haha nervous laugh. Riaz. You seem to be quite tense, Issei, is there something the matter? Haneko will kill me if she found out I almost came late to school because I was. Issei was thinking to himself while nervously blinking. Issei. Ah well, anyways, glad to see you've all made it here. The girl in Riaz Gremory's group spoke out trying to get Issei's attention. Issei, can we talk? Issei walked away as if no one had called out to him. Issei was clearly avoiding Kquime. Kquime, sorry, but now is not the time to speak. Soon we'll be able to talk again, but first I must attend to something first. Issei said to himself in his head. But that Issei walked away ready to start class. Issei had arrived at the classroom, and soon after class started, Issei finished his work as he'd always do. After that Issei always went to the rooftops to set his mind at ease. It was every day that Issei took off to the rooftops in order to calm his mind. After class were dismissed lunch, Kaneko always joined him and had lunch with him. After that they'd continue to participate in class as they should have. After the day was over, Issei and Kaneko always left together. But that's not to say Kaneko always went home with Issei, as 2/7 days a week Kaneko stayed at Ria's home. Issei arrived home alone. Issei opened the door and Kuroka as usual pounced on Issei, giving him lots of kisses on the cheeks and a few on the lips. Hey Kuroka, I get, I love you too, but I'm a bit dirty right now, could you maybe? Issei said as he then chuckled slightly. Kuroka. Sure thing, is Kaneko late or is she staying at Cherry Girl's house? Issei. She's staying at Ria's house for tonight. Kuroka. Oh Aki, that means I get you to myself again, fufu. Issei. It sure does mean that, I should go take a shower. Kuroka. Okay, I'll have dinner ready by the time you're done, Naya. Issei. Sounds great. Issei then left to the shower. It took him about 14 minutes to finish doing his thing, and soon after he went downstairs as he was attracted to the sweet delicious aroma of Kuroka's cooking. The food Kuroka made was already served and ready to be eaten. Dig in, Issei, I hope you like it, Naya. Kuroka said with a genuine loving smile. Issei. Thank you honey, can't wait to eat this, takes a bite, wow this is amazing, its texture it's smooth. Kuroka. I'm glad you like it, wove. Issei stopped eating and put down the silverware. He looked at Kuroka in the eyes and said, Kuroka, I love you, I also love your cooking, and I'm very lucky to have met you, Issei, then resumed eating the delicious food. After 15 minutes Issei was ready to sleep and so was Kuroka. Just before sleeping Kuroka asked Issei something as she hugged him, do you think Kaneko might stop staying here? Kuroka said in soft low tone. Issei turned his body around so that he'd face Kuroka in bed. He looked at Kuroka and began to talk. Kuroka, this is our home, she knows that too, she'll never leave us, so don't worry about it. Issei kissed Kuroka in the lips before going to sleep. Shortly after, Kuroka fell asleep after calming herself, as every time Issei took the lead in some things she couldn't help but to feel embarrassed but happy. Every day had something new in store for this growing family, but they're very normal days on top of the constant eventful days. Battle of Wits. It was 7:30 p.m. Issei was powering up in the quest areas during night. What is this place? After I beat the Earth Dragon of the last quest area, I find myself in a sneeze in an Arctic looking place. Ah, it's cold, really cold, Issei said as he was freezing literally. System. Seek warmth, temperatures here reached 100 Celsius. Issei. No wonder I'm freezing. System. Issei, you must seek shelter, a blizzard is approaching quickly. Issei. Oh great, a blizzard, it's just gonna get colder from here on out, where's the nearest cave? System. There are no caves nearby, forms of shelter near us take form in holes or dead trees. Say. So there isn't any shelter nearby, well I can't see anything with snow falling everywhere. System. Warning, monster detected 3 miles northeast, proceed with caution. Issei. I can't go fight as I'm freezing so I'll just bunker down somewhere. With only a few minutes till the blizzard arrives, Issei made a hole underground, he covered it up making a roof of dirt. System. Below the snow dirt is found, after this you may heat the small area up to gain further warmth. Issei. Is fire an option? System. Absolutely not, a fire in a closed space will leave the smoke trapped, this will affect you negatively. Issei. Geez, I was messing around, learn some humor will you? System. Something 5 times your strength approaches. Issei. What, from where? I can't sense it, where is it? System. It was a joke, learn some humor will you? Issei. Why, fair game, I might get a heart attack if you do that again. System. My system might overheat if you keep joking around. Issei. Your systems can't overheat. System. And your body is far too strong for heart attacks, your body is protected and inspected by the system, so should any heart attacks be present, it will immediately be neutralized. Issei. That's a lot of information, and you know what? Issei and the system kept bickering over and over again till the blizzard stopped. Man, it's been hours, it still seems that our unknown friend is still waiting, Issei told the system. System. The position and status of the creature have not changed. Issei. Well then let's greet best get comfortable with our neighbors. Issei made his way to the creature just to find it frozen solid after digging it up. This thing, what is it a type of cat? Issei asked very confused, the system then responded after analyzing it for a little. This creature seems to strike a strong resemblance to snow leopards, the system had stated. Issei. Look at that, iron claws. System. Those iron claws seems to be laced with a sort of effect. Issei. Well ain't that cute, I guess we should take him out. Issei looked at the 6-foot-tall creature, it stood mighty as it was frozen. Issei summoned Excalibur rapidly and was about to push the blade into the ice covering the neck. Issei had seen something change mere seconds away from pushing the blade in, the leopard's gaze was following Issei's movements. Leopard's measurements, 6'0" in height, 7'0" in length, 737 pounds. Within these few seconds the ice shattered Issei, then saw its body in a better angle. The system notified Issei about the leopard. System. The leopard ranks as a mythic. Issei. Serious tone. What's its stats? Use Kquime stage 1 as a reference. System. Name. Issei. Name. Race. Human. Race. Snow leopard. Rank. Boss lair. Rank. Mythic. Level. 112. Level 200 200s. Health. 377k 425k. Health. 2.5m 2.5m. Stamina. Infinite. Stamina. 400k 400k. Strength. 657k. Strength. 1.1m. Speed. 193k. Speed. 138k. Endurance. 160k. Endurance. 97k. Defense. 100k. Defense. 76k. Magic power. 190k. Magic power. 100k. Issei. It has me beat by a lot on the physical department, we just might have to flee. System. Ready yourself, it's on the offensive. Issei activated the Mangekyo and he activated stage 1 Kquime. Issei dodged with ease and knew how to get around cats very well. By exposing his back or neck he's able to lure in the leopard as it fought with instincts purely. Issei was dodging left and right with ease, he learned the first time with a Mega Croc that he shouldn't let his guard down, if one hit connects it's practically lethal. Issei said as he dodged and struck back. This kept going on for 11 minutes, it's almost lost no health, this is going to be a problem. Issei kept attacking and using a large variety of attacks. Snow leopard. Health 2.1m 2.5m. Issei. We can't use the same strategy over and over again, it'll pick up on our patterns, furthermore something's not right, this fight is dragged out and too easy. System. Another individual is lurking around. Issei. I can sense thank you very much, but the question is where is it coming from? System. Exactly 524.4 inches away. Issei. So 43.7 feet away, that's about the length between us and the leopard, something's not adding up. Issei began to fight once again, but this was as he talked to the system about the situation. With the Sharingan it was fairly easy to dodge the very predictable strikes of the leopard. System. It's possible that two consciousness inhabit this body. Issei. So one in the outside and another one that lays dormant deep within the body. System. Indeed so, though the situation may vary, there are currently many possibilities, but three stand out most. Issei. Two consciousnesses inhabit the same body, one controls while the other rests. System. One of the consciousness are held prisoner to the other. Issei. Or the consciousness we're fighting is the husk and the true inhabitant is the one that is dormant within. System. These are the three possible answers. Issei. It has a lot of horsepower, so maybe if we beat it up to a point the other one wakes up. System. Tread carefully, the snow leopard is increasing ever so slightly its adaptability to your current fighting form. Issei. Well, it won't matter much anyways, now Kquime stage 2, submerge my body in power. As Issei said this the transformation began and a dark desolate aura consumed the surroundings very quickly. As Issei said this the transformation began and a dark desolate aura consumed the surroundings very quickly. Issei. Sighs, cold tone, it's time to take care of this thing. Issei raised his hand up in the air and called down a barrage of plasma strikes, every single strike hit the leopard with 100% precision. That should suffice for now. Now about the other being in there, it's time for you to come on out. Issei said as he walked closer to the smokescreen created by the many explosive plasma strikes. As Issei got closer he suddenly felt a jolt of lighting pass through his body and so on he jumped out of the way at full speed. 600 milliseconds later a figure had struck the exact spot Issei had been previously. A millisecond is 1/1000th of a second. Issei. So you're finally out, I was beginning to get bored, now that you're out entertain me for a while. Who are you? Issei. Oh, you don't seem to be the creature I was fighting a moment ago, so in the end there were two souls and a body sealed within the outer body. Low emotionless voice, I won't let you hurt my familiar anymore. As the smokescreen dispersed the leopard stood a little injured but mostly fine. Issei. Your power, it's incredible, I'd surely lose if this was a battle of strength and endurance. But in this fight those matter least. Issei prepared once again to summon a barrage of plasma strikes, by just before that he used Bad Omen. Is this your doing? I feel uneasy and nervous despite me being far stronger than you in power. Issei. If that's all you notice, you're far weaker than I gave you credit for. Issei called forth the plasma barrage and just after that he blitzed the girl with white hair and with a plasma strike, slammed the attack into her stomach. Endure that, Issei said as he moves away. As Issei moved away, two leopard jumped from behind Issei and forced him to change direction, so he took a left turn, but as he did so, the girl was already there. Damn it, Issei was caught off guard as he had adjusted the plasma with paralyzes. The girl pulled her arm back as Issei tried to change course once again, she then struck crushing mountains. Issei was hit dead center of his body. Issei. X2 coughed blood. That was impressive, but you failed to realize is something. Issei had faked being startled by the attack, but this was merely a part of his plan. Normal, a hit like that would have destroyed him, but due to iron defenses and armored skill being activated at the right time alongside enhanced reactions, he was able to position himself mid-air just right, so that when he was hit, instead of being crushed by the attack, he was left hurt. Issei smiled as started recovering quickly due to his regeneration. See, it's not about strength, this battle is of wits, and right now you've fallen into my trap. Issei said as he sadistically smiled. My body, it's fatigued and it's going numb, but I'm immune to poisons of all kinds. Issei. Bad omen doesn't affect you physically for the most part, it tends to focus more on your soul, mana and etc. By putting you into a state of adrenaline, it accelerated the omen's growth and spread, kinda of like poison would. So you're messing with my mana. Issei. Precisely, you catch on quick, I like that, but unfortunately for you, you're going to die soon. Battle if word right. Of it was about that we both had each other beat. Issei. What could you may HM I didn't notice it, I will say you're clever. Issei was completely defenseless as the attack she had performed broke down all of his defense. Issei's defense. 0. Issei. So now one strike is enough to kill me. Behind Issei stood the leopard which was ready to kill him at a moment's notice. Issei. Matters not, you lost this fight the moment you touched me. When she had punched Issei, she made contact with the aura all around his body, which was extremely toxic both physically and spiritually. It also serves as an accelerator for bad omen. The unnamed girl fell unconscious before she could say anything else. The leopard then rushed to her side. Issei. The leopard has lots of HP, which is a bad thing, but right now I'm defenseless, so even a bit from it would kill me. Issei's health. 43.1k 425k. Issei. Damn it, my body's getting heavy now, I've sustained too much damage. Issei's consciousness was fading away slowly, eventually he ended unconscious. In his mind, Issei. Man, I feel weird, it's like I change personalities completely. System. Your personality is completely altered due to this fact, most of your fighting does so as well. Issei. Don't we fight those same though? System. No, you mostly depend on speed, while your Kquime stage 2 depends on intelligence. Issei. This is really complicated for me, what's the situation outside right now? System. Your body isn't deceased so you're still alive, it also seems that your body is being warmed up, so hypothermia isn't an issue. Issei. How long will I be unconscious for? System. Another 1 hour, also note you've been unconscious for 3 hours and a half. Issei. Wow. Issei starts to argue with the system as they always did, and as they did that the hour passed by fairly quickly. Regains consciousness. Issei opened his eyes and quickly realized he was underneath something warm and fluffy. Issei reached out to grab the thing covering him, but as he moved the thing quickly lifted up. Issei. A tail. Issei looked and saw the snow leopard providing him with shelter. Why didn't you kill me when you had the chance? Issei asked the leopard. The leopard couldn't talk but just looked at him and then looked at the unconscious girl. Is it because I didn't finish her off? Issei asked, not expecting an answer. The leopard just looked at him and then looked back at the girl while it was wagging its tail. Well, I guess I'll stick around seeming as I have nothing else to do for the time being, Issei said quietly. System. That is not your motive, you're just trying heal so that Kquime doesn't lose her mind seeing you all bruised up and hurt. Issei. Would you shut your damn mouth for a second? System. I don't have a mouth. Issei. Well, guess what, I don't give a. Issei was talking to the system via mental speech, not literally screaming. After a little while the girl slowly opened her eyes and upon seeing Issei she. Deeper truth. Upon seeing Issei she stood up immediately ready to fight. Issei continued to lay there just thinking about other things to do till he snapped out of it. Oh, you're awake, how are you feeling? Issei asked calmly. Why didn't you finish me? Issei responded very quickly to the girl's question. It's simple, I'm interested in you, you're the first event creature that can speak that I've come across, and of course your leopard here would have surely killed me in return, but it didn't finish me, instead it gave me warmth, Issei said with his eyes closed, enjoying the fluffiness of the leopard's tail. The girl sat down resting her back on the leopard's side. Issei began to speak once again. Hey girl, do you have a name? The girl was confused as to what Issei was asking, so Issei started explaining what a name was. A name, I wish to have one, but I was not given a name, the girl said coldly, with her gaze directed onto him. Hyoudou, Issei said to the girl. Hyoudou. Then Hyoudou is my name, she said with a super faint smile. Issei. How about we name your buddy there Yukio? Yukihyo, meaning snow leopard in Japanese. Hyena. Yukihyo, very well then that shall be his name. Issei. I want to talk to you about something, are there more of you? If so then how many and where? Hyena. I haven't met anyone other than you, my partner has always been Yukihyo, so he's the only one I know. Issei. I see, and about your intelligence, you seem to know how speak how's that? Hyena. I don't really know, when I came to existence I already knew how to speak, my knowledge is limited, but just enough to speak. In his mind, Issei. It seems that she was given basic information yet she wasn't given information such as names. System. Perhaps she was created to introduce the idea of creatures that could speak and have human traits. Issei. So you're saying she was meant to die, that's why she wasn't given a name. System. Not exactly, she was meant to kill you, but the chances of that were low to begin with, since you've unlocked a form which was meant to be unlocked in later stages of the system. Issei. Anyways let's continue. No longer speaking in his mind, Issei. That's all I wish to know for now, do you have any questions? Hyena. Were you born here? Issei. No, I wasn't. Hyena. What's it like where you come from? Issei. It's warm, sun always shines bright, and there's many humans around, the calm blue oceans are there too, there's so much about world I come from, and most importantly the ones I love most live there. Hyena. Love. Issei. I can't explain that to you, it's something that comes with time. Hyena. What does it feel like this love thing? Issei. It's amazing, it makes you feel at ease, it's soothing, it gives you all types of feelings, the want to protect them with everything you have. Hyena. Your heartbeat changed just now, is something the matter? Issei. Like I said, the want to protect them with everything you have. I failed not too long ago, and because of my failure, I almost lost one of the ones I care for most. Hyena. You will soon find yourself face to face with the corrupt kings. Issei. Kings. So they're more to this after all, do you know anything about them? Hyena. I do not know anything about them. Issei and Hyuna kept talking for a while, and not having anything to do, Issei spent the next 2 weeks in the quest area. Issei did not only gain Hyuna and Yukihyo's trust, but he's also come to learn many things about the quest areas. 1. During events, quest areas become more dangerous and the creatures get boosts. 2. Something is delaying the event waves. 3. Each quest area has champion weapons that vary from FS rank. 4. Each quest area has a different time zone and time processing. 5. Living in quest areas increases training effectiveness. Issei. Hyuna, let's slow cook this reindeer, it'll really bring out the flavor in the meat. Hyuna. Issei slow cooked a reindeer as to bring a new taste into both Hyuna and Yukihyo lives. How long do you think it's been since we've been here? Issei asked the system as he cooked. It's been roughly around a day and a half. The system said to Issei. Issei's look was that of a worried yet nervous man. Issei. Hey Hyuna. Hyuna. Is something wrong? Issei. No, nothing's wrong, it's just that I should tell you this now. Issei took his sweet time to tell her that he was going to go back home, of course this was as they ate. Hyuna. Sad low voice, so you're leaving. Issei. I can't stay here forever, I have to go back home and see both of them. Hyuna. In this short time with you I've been at peace, I feel like I could sleep without worrying about anything, I can eat with a smile, but just as you said once. Issei. I had a feeling you'd say that. Hyuna. Those words have shown me some truth in things, but those words have a deception that lurks within it as well. Issei. Oh, and what might that be? Hyuna. That good things come to an end. Issei. Hey wait, you didn't get the point in those words, did you? Hyuna. Good things only come to an end if you let them, so if you don't let them they'll stay. Issei. Well, that's one way to look at things. Hyuna. What I'm saying is, grabbed Issei by the shirt and pulled him close. Issei. Hyuna. That I won't let you go. Issei. Did you just? Hyuna. You said that's what people who love each other do, should I not have done that? No, this feeling I want to hold on to it. Issei. I'm in a sticky situation, Hyuna, did you think of my feelings to this? Hyuna. I did, and I still went for it, I want to keep this feeling, so when you said you were going back home, I felt different, like I was going to lose something I want to feel. Issei. So low interrupted. Hyuna. Love, I think I feel love, if this is love, I won't let it go, so I've made up my mind you won't leave, you'll stay with me. Issei. Hyuna, I have to go though. Hyuna was very persistent on him not leaving, and Issei wasn't sure of what to do, this was very sudden for him. She's been slowly opening up to me over the 2 weeks. Oh, that's right, if you corner an animal it'll show its fangs even if scared, in this case those fangs are her true feelings, Issei told himself in his head. Hyuna. I feel if you leave me I'll be alone, I'm scared to be alone again, Issei. Hyuna. Go with you? Issei. Yes, sorry for putting you on a tight spot like that, so what's your answer? Hyuna. Yes I'll go, can you Kyo? Issei. Of course he can come. Hyuna smiled and shortly after regained composure and back to her normal coldish self she went. Issei, you know Kuroka might take your finger for this, the systems told Issei in a sarcastic manner. Issei's response was rather scared. Of course I know that stump system, I not only have to explain why I was gone for a full day, but I'll have to explain Hyuna's situation, Issei said with chills running down his spine. Issei, do not forget about the kiss, no matter what you do the scent of her will remain on your lips for a while, even if you clean it off. I know, well now the journey back home. Side note. It's been 2 weeks for Issei, but it's been 4 weeks since he's gone in the real world. Return home. They left the quest area. Upon arrival back from the quest area, Issei was in front of the door, he heard noises inside of his house. Hyuna. It seems rather loud in there. Issei. Well you'd better cover your ears because it's going to get loud for real once we go in there. So Issei and Hyuna listened in. Issei is still nowhere to be found, a familiar voice said. This was coming from Grafia herself. Keep looking around, someone that powerful couldn't have just vanished without a trace, Surzicha said calmly. Kaneko was in the room, she was depressed alongside Kuroka. Note. No one found out who was the killer of the super devil, hence why Kuroka isn't in some deep trouble. Kuroka. Issei wouldn't disappear like this for no reason. Surzicha's. We'll find him, but please keep yourself well fed, Issei most definitely wouldn't want to see you like this once he returns. Riaz wasn't sure of what to do so she called out to Kaneko and began to give her a piece of her mind. Riaz. Kaneko, crying won't solve anything, so please stop this at once, Issei cares for you so much I'm sure wherever he is, he's probably thinking about you and your sister, so snap out of it. As they kept talking Issei noticed something very quickly. What Issei noticed was the scent Hyuna gave off. Hyuna's scent wasn't horrible, but it gave off strong scent of hormones. Issei. Damn, it will be noticed in no time, she's giving off lots of serotonin, this might be due to the fact not even 5 minutes ago she mustered up the courage to kiss me. Kaneko was sobbing less and less as the time went by, but soon it was quite noticeable to Kuroka that someone was there. So she called out to whoever was hiding. Issei. Damn it, she found out, I guess there's no hiding it, I'll just have to. System. Issei, she hasn't noticed you, she's noticed Hyuna. Hyuna without much thought he walked out to where the people present there could see her. Are you Kuroka? Hyuna asked the girl who was in fact Kuroka. Yes, and who are you, furthermore where are you hiding? My name is Hyuna and I have him. Hyuna said coldly. Kuroka. Mad voice you have, Issei. Hyuna. Yes, and I'll say this once, he belongs to me. Issei was asking himself what the hell was she doing, she's making things more tense and worse, Issei thought as he was readying himself to come out. Kuroka. I want to see him, now. Kuroka wasn't having any of it, she was furious, sad and scared all at the same time. So Issei came out of hiding. Issei. Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to slapped in the face. Kuroka. Do you have any idea how long it's been since you've disappeared? Do you have any idea how terrified I was? Well, do you? Issei. Kuroka, I'm truly sorry. It didn't even require to use Senjutsu to tell that Issei was really sorry, Issei didn't have an explanation, all he could do was apologize. Kuroka poured her heart out for 11 minutes, Kaneko was shocked to see Kuroka in that state, she'd known her while life, and not once she's seen her like this. Hyuna took one look at the whole situation and decided to break the depressing atmosphere, and to do that she just picked up Issei and threw him over her shoulder. I'll be taking him now. Hyuna tried to walk out of the house, but didn't seem to understand where the exit was. Hyuna. Issei, how do we leave this den? Issei. This is my den and could you maybe put me down? Hyuna looked Issei in the eyes coldly and said, your loved one is crazy, but I'll replace her, so don't worry. Kuroka went from sad but angry now. Issei is mine, not yours. Hyuna and Kuroka kept arguing back and forth on who Issei belongs to, and eventually things settled down. Kaneko was rather calm about the situation after seeing Issei was fine. She later led Hyuna to the shower after Surzicha's and Grafia alongside Ria's left. Kuroka was now alone with Issei, and she hugged him really tightly. Please don't ever do that again. Kuroka said this as she hugged him like it was the last day they'd ever see each other. Issei. Kuroka, I'm sorry for worrying you, next time I'll definitely tell you. Issei and Kuroka made up a bit as they cooked up something for everyone to eat. Issei quickly noticed that Kuroka had lost several pounds. He felt even more guilty about it when he sees Kuroka's smile every time he glances at her. Kuroka. Hey Issei, I want to ask you this, why is that other lady's scent on your lips? Issei. Well, the thing is, when I told her I was going back home, Issei explained to her everything that occurred over the time he was absent, so she's gonna live with us. Kuroka asked, confused as to what Issei was saying and hinting to. Kuroka. Because if so, then I wouldn't mind it, cute teasing smile, just as long as pay more attention to me. Issei. Of course, thank you for understanding, Kuroka. Haneko and Hyuna soon came to the kitchen where the food was already done and severed. Issei had a couple hard seconds explaining to Hyuna how spoons and forks worked, so this is for eating, Hyuna said as she looked deeply into the spoon. Hyuna. Issei, I should be entering mating season very soon, so till then let's hold off. Kuroka Kaneko. PFFFFFFTTTTT. What? Issei. Misunderstanding. In the domain. So it seems the foul creature crawls closer as the light and darkness change places. Day and night cycle. Well then we shall await its arrival and take our precious time ripping it apart. Do not be foolish, that impudent creature grows stronger with each passing cycle, so whatever you do not let your guard down. You talk so much, fireworm. Well anyway, I'll triple the Dark Knight's patrol. Real world. Issei. It only happened once. Hyuna. Huh. Issei. Issei, her sweet gaze struck deep within my soul, it was like love at first sight. Hyuna understood what Issei was trying to do, so she played along. Remember, mating season is close by, when it comes around we can mate all we want, Hyuna said with her poker face. Issei. Yes, I shall wait for that day. Kuroka. Is there something I am not getting here? Kaneko. I thought you were different, all men are really the same, pervert. Kuroka, being curious and upset about it, checked to see if Hyuna's pheromones gave off the feeling, which they didn't, and Kuroka was relieved for a number of reasons. Kuroka. HMPH, your trickery won't work, you're going to have to try harder than that, Issei. Issei. So you've seen Throng masterful. Kuroka pinched his cheek. Issei looked down and sighed, this isn't really working, is it? Kuroka looked at him and told him, silly, I fell for you because of how you are, don't try to act all cheerful, that's not you. After that Kuroka kissed him in the cheek she had pinched. The group talked the rest of the night and later went to sleep. Of course Kuroka slept in the bed Issei was sleeping, and Hyuna slept in Kuroka's room. Kaneko went back to Ria's place, and they all slept obviously. Next morning, upon waking up, Issei felt a little heavier than usual. He knew that Kuroka wasn't on him because he fell asleep holding onto her tail like a pillow. When Issei opened his eyes, he saw Hyuna laying down on his chest just looking him. They were close enough for a kiss, but that wasn't the intention. Issei calmly asked what she was doing, which to responded very calmly and quickly, I'm watching my mate rest. Issei just looked at her and smiled, you hungry? Hyuna jumped up super excited, and just as fast as she jumped up, she readjusted herself back to the cold type. She didn't say anything, but Issei already knew she was hungry. When Hyuna jumped, Issei felt Kuroka's tail twitch. He knew as soon as that happened she woke up. Issei acted as if he didn't know she was awake. So he went and prepared breakfast. Issei asked Kuroka to shower Hyuna, which she did without hesitation. Little did Issei know Kuroka was full to the brim with questions that Hyuna could answer. So while she helped Hyuna shower, she asked away all of her questions. Hyuna answered each of the questions, but she left out the parts of the dangerous things waiting for Issei in the domain. Issei was done cooking breakfast. Eat breakfast, Issei hollered out to the girls. Issei didn't get a response and thought nothing of it. After a couple minutes, 4 minutes, Kuroka and Hyuna made their way to the kitchen where they ate and talked of all sorts of things. Well anyways, I'll be going now. Kuroka, take care of Hyuna, and Hyuna, please do the same with Kuroka, Issei said as he left to go to school. After Issei left, Hyuna. Can I go to school? Kuroka. Probably not, I mean you're a grown-up, right? Hyuna. I don't know if I'm an adult or not, I learned how to speak properly and came to know of new knowledge because Issei taught me. Kuroka. Well, we have to get past step 1, figuring out your age. Do you have any friends or companions? Hyuna. Yes I do, but only one. After Issei, let me introduce you. Hyuna closed her eyes and held her hand right against her chest. After a few seconds went by, a glow started to emerge from her hand. After this glow appeared, Hyuna slowly pulled her hand away from her chest. As Hyuna did that, the glowing got bigger and more intense. After glow left, a giant snow leopard stood in the kitchen. Kuroka. Wa. Hyuna. Kuroka, I introduced you to Yukihyo, my first companion and friend before I met Issei. Kuroka. Fwix, that's a giant friend, he looks sc kinda cute. Hyuna. Yes, he's very soft. Kuroka. Hyuna, let's shower your friend, I'm sure his fur would love that. Note. Due to Yukihyo not being normal, nothing about him is, his fur is incapable of being dirty unless blood stained it, he's always clean. Hyuna explained to her that Yukihyo doesn't need to bathe and things of the sort. Kuroka and Hyuna kept bonding the whole day while Issei was at school. Ring ring ring. Issei got up as the bell for lunch started ringing, and as he stood up he started wandering around the campus aimlessly. Soon after Issei was so drawn into his thoughts, he didn't notice Akeno turning the corner with a stack of books. Both Issei and Akeno bumped into each other, as both of them were preoccupied with something. When Issei bumped into Akeno, all the books Akeno was carrying fell and she herself fell on her back. She wasn't alone as Issei fell following right after Akeno. Instinctively Issei did move with his hands where he tried to bring them up to his chest, but when Issei landed in the ground all he ended up doing was catching Akeno and pulling her close. Akeno had fallen backwards on her back and Issei fell forward. Issei was on top of Akeno and their faces were a single centimeter apart. They were so close they could feel the warmth the other emitted. Both Issei and Akeno could even feel each other's breath. Both were caught so off guard that they just looked at each other in shock. When the realization came to both of their minds, Issei and Akeno's faces lit up bright red. Issei got off of Akeno while Akeno laid on the ground, still shocked by what had happened. Issei looked to the side in embarrassment and extended his hand to help her get up. Akeno grabbed his hand and up she went. Issei apologized not once not twice, but 3 times he picked up the several books with Akeno. Akeno giggled and said, "You know, if you want to be on top, you should take me out on dates first." Akeno said this in a teasing manner. Issei couldn't help to blush as that just reminded him of the event that was playing over and over in his head. "I know I'm so sorry for." Issei was trying to think of the words to use when Akeno said, "It's okay, there's no need to apologize, we both weren't paying attention." Akeno started to walk to where she was trying to go originally. System. Issei, your body is accumulating hexual stimulation. Issei. Shut up, I know that already. System. Shall I lead you towards Kaneko? Issei. No, that's messed up, I'll just wait it out. Issei waited for minutes and after the hexual stimulation was gone, he resumed wandering around. One thing Akeno nor Issei thought of at the time was to look around. A girl had seen Issei and Akeno in that awkward position, and so on rumors spread faster than fire in dry forest. And the rumors reached Kaneko and Rias who were in a room with Akeno, Kquime and Kquime. Everyone apart from Kquime looked at Akeno in surprise and jealously really struck Rias hard. Rias. Akeno, are the rumors true? Said in a demanding tone. Kaneko who was mad asked the same thing. Kaneko. Is it true, dirty bird? Akeno. Yes, they're true, though something's missing, something else happened as well. Rias. Kaneko. What else happened? Akeno. That's a secret. Issei felt shivers running down his spine as he walked aimlessly around the school. After school, Issei was headed home as he thought Kaneko was going to spend the night at Ria's house again, but he was dead wrong with that assumption. Kaneko was standing right in front of him with a look that pierced his soul. Kaneko wasn't standing alone, because not far behind her Rias was visibly uncomfortable, but itching to say something as well. Akeno on the other hand was smiling and very calm about the situation. After standing in silence he figured it was about the rumors. Issei just looked at Kaneko dead in the eyes. It's true, the thing about Akeno, yeah, it did happen. Kaneko. So you did it with her, why didn't you tell me y'all were dating? Issei. Kaneko. Why look so surprised, I'm sure you knew this was gonna happen. Issei. Wait. Kaneko, no, Kaneko, I did not do it with her, and we're not dating we just bumped into each other, that's all. Kaneko. Then what Akeno said was lie. Akeno. I didn't say I did it with him, I just said something else happened, he wink. Issei. Issei was speechless, but invited them all to his house as they were going to have dinner. Ria's big request. Issei invited the somewhat large group to his home, which the group definitely accepted without hesitation. After getting home, upon entering the house Issei called out to Kurokolov, "We have visitors." Issei stepped aside so that the group could enter. After the group entered Issei closed the door and took his shoes off and proceeded to walk towards the bathroom, and along the way 2 ears popped out from the corner of the kitchen wall. "So we have visitors, aren't you going to entertain them?" Kuroka asked Issei. Well, I'll leave that part up to you, I have to go take a shower, I feel mucky, Issei told the curious Nico. Kuroka. I think I'm feeling mucky, I should take a shower with you. Issei. Thanks for the offer, but you know if we go in there we won't come out of bathroom for a few hours, there's also the fact we have visitors. Kuroka. Fine, I'll take care of these kittens while you get refreshed, he makes sure to clean my personal plaything properly. Issei. I will. Issei walked off and Kuroka gave off a defeated expression. Now what was it I was supposed to do, Kuroka wondered. Suddenly Kuroka remembered Issei and her were going to cook together, so Kuroka told the sorta hungry group that they'd have to wait till Issei came back. This wasn't a problem to Rias nor Akeno. Kaneko stood up, went to the jar on the countertop, and grabbed a lollipop. After 15 minutes, Issei came out of the bathroom, put his clothing on, and shortly after went downstairs where he'd see the rest of the group. Phew, that shower was great, you should have joined me, Kuroka, Issei said with a smug on his face. Kuroka looked at him with questionable expression, yet Issei shrugged it off like it was nothing. Issei. Well, shall we get started, Kuroka? Kuroka. Yup. Issei and Kuroka started preparing the food and Akeno and Riaz began to try to help out by setting the table with Kaneko. 10 minutes later, Riaz was asking Issei some light questions as Kuroka and Issei talked as well. The difference was that Kuroka and Issei were laughing and smiling a lot as they did the work together. After eating, Riaz. Issei, have you thought of working somewhere that pays a lot? Issei. Thinking about it, I actually haven't thought of it. I do earn tons of money, clean money suo, not really. Riaz. I see, then would you like to? Kuroka. Nope, I can see it right through you. Issei is mine and I know you're trying to snatch him up. Issei. I'll think about it. Riaz. Also, what might the job be? Riaz. That's pretty simple, it's to help improve my team in both magical and physical aptitude. Issei. PFFFTT, I think I'm a little too busy for that type of stuff, you know. Riaz. Of course, you'd only have to train us 2 times a week for at least 5 hours, the pay I'm sure would suffice. Everyone was looking at Riaz wondering how much she was talking about. I think 100,000 per training day works, don't you, Issei? Riaz asked in a happy mood. Issei was baffled by this and was very tempted to accept. Issei. I'll definitely think about the offer. Issei was wondering how much he made often in the domains, so he asked the system, hey system, how much do I make? The system began to relay the information to Issei. System. On an average your income increases by 10%, this is per every new domain unlocked, per every domain visit you make an average of 730k. Issei. Wow, I thought we at most might have made 50k per every trip. System. Of the 730k your balance only shows you 14.6% of what you made, the rest of the 85.4% is stored up, furthermore, when payments are needed to be done it is taken from there. Issei. Payments. Oh yay, that's right, you take care of all my financial stuff, you also pay my taxes. System. Yes, I pay your taxes with your own money, it's unbearable communicating with the other system which confirms the payment. Means the bot that helps with your payments if not talking to a person, in other words, so annoying. Issei. No idea what you're talking about. Issei. How much do I make a year? System. There's no answer, you go into the domains at random times. Issei sighs and answered Riaz, everyone was surprised by his answer. Issei. Riaz, would you make me the happiest man and raise it up by 100k? Riaz upon hearing the first half of the speech was taken aback and blushed and looked off to the side, no knowing what to say. Riaz was also shocked as he finished his question. Riaz. Why yes sure, that's no problem, sorry I was taken aback by your words. Akeno. Phew dear Riaz, were you expecting something else? Riaz. No, nothing at all. Akeno. Kaneko. Back off girl, he's mine. Kuroka. Huh. Hess mine, I spend more time with him than any of you, that also includes you Kaneko. Kuroka and Kaneko started bickering back and forth, that's also when Hyuna woke and came downstairs. Not far behind her followed Yukio, who was very curious as to the noise. Issei. Hyuna, how was your rest? Hyuna. It was comfortable, I'm still getting used to not sleeping on hard surfaces, so I find it a little weird at the moment. Issei. Seems like you're getting used to our way of living. Issei started patting Hyuna on the head gently. This whole interaction was seen by all the girls there and Kuroka didn't take kindly to that, she was jealous because head pats are hers. Kuroka. She's stealing my head pats. Kaneko. Soon she'll start to steal my tail rubs. Kuroka. Kaneko. Hey, cut it out. Issei. What? Why scream, I am only potting her. Kuroka. Meh, I'm horny. Issei, let's go already. Kaneko. Do you know any shame at all? Kuroka. Issei. I think she does but not all the time. Kuroka looked at Issei with a devouring gaze and left upstairs. Hyuna went upstairs as well and Yukio stayed downstairs with the rest of the ones there. Issei. It's late right now, do y'all want me to take y'all home or? Riaz. If it's fine with you I'd like to stay the night. Akeno. I'd like to do the same. Kaneko. Wahem, if that's the case then you're both staying in my room, I'll stay with y'all as well. Issei. Sure. Riaz and Akeno, do you bring clothing? Riaz and Akeno looked separate ways, making it clear to him they didn't. I'll go somewhere real quick, Issei said as he put his shoes on and left. Issei was walking for about 15 minutes and was thinking, will I make it in time or is the shop closed already? As soon as Issei reached the shop it was indeed closed, but the owner was cleaning the shop before calling it a day. The owner noticed Issei and remembered he was the most loyal customer to the shop, so with no problem the owner opened the doors and let Issei in. Owner. Hey Issei. Issei. Hi, thanks for letting me in. Owner. It's no problem, what clothing you looking for? Issei. Sorry but I don't know the exact measurements, the clothing is for girls. Owner. You're quite two-player, it's not your usual 2 sizes for girls you look for, so new ones. Issei. Yay. Issei and the owner talked and tried looking at lots of measurement examples for the clothing was trying to get. About 30 minutes passed and with the help of the expert, he knew exactly what to get. "Thank you," said Issei to the owner. "It's not problem, I'm happy to have a costumer like you," said the owner of the shop. Issei handed the money that the clothing costed and a little extra as a token of gratitude, token being 5k extra. Issei left before the owner could decline the 5k, and after a while Issei was almost home, but suddenly the system warned him. System? Warning, something powerful is watching you. Issei. Where from? I can't feel it. System. It's coming from an unknown domain. A few seconds later it's no longer watching you. Issei. My senses didn't even react. System. Your senses didn't react because my plane of existence is connected to the domains. As to where you aren't, the domain and this world are in separate dimensions, meaning the creature seeing you could very well travel here. Issei. This is too much for me to think right now. Issei started walking home and everything was fine. For the first 10 minutes things seemed peaceful, though the peace came to an end just as fast as lightning. Issei's last sight was the ground, sky and everything around him warp in a swirly way. Just as fast as things happened they came to a halt. The hell? Issei said as he looked around. System. Not knowing what was going on, Issei called out to the system, and to Issei's surprise the system didn't reply. Issei looked to his left and right. After he had looked at both directions, two surroundings started to fade and be replaced with another surrounding. This time when the surrounding finished warping, Issei felt a wave of headaches flooding into his head. Issei didn't scream but felt horrible in the head. After a few seconds of intense pain the headache vanished as fast as it came. What? Issei questions himself as his clothing and body seem battle worn out. Issei looked at his hands and felt a soreness running along them. Was I fighting? As Issei said that, memories flooded into his head. Slash, struggle, rumble, thump. Many footsteps, lighting, mirrors being destroyed. Fleeing, vision blurred, nothingness, opening eyes. The memories Issei revived were very distant and unclear at the moment. Those memories felt real, I could only see flashes and tiny bits of it. Issei wondered as to what just happened and what were the memories about. Later in thought Issei was snapped out of it as he heard the familiar footsteps in the distance. Issei didn't stick around to see what it was as it sounded like many of those things were in their way. Issei fled into the alien-like terrain trying to not get discovered. Issei ran for about 30 minutes at top speed, and during this time he couldn't shake the feeling of anxiety. Whatever might be doing this, I should stay away from for a while. Issei began to walk slowly after this, and out of nowhere 3 minutes later he found himself unable to move or turn around. Issei was frozen in place by human instincts. Issei didn't look behind himself, but being able to sense what was behind him was more than enough to let him picture it. Issei couldn't think at all in these terrifying moments. "Wake, you have my power," so you said. Issei heard this off into the distance, but the voice was coming from his head in the deeper parts of his consciousness to be exact. Issei was frozen in place. Because of this his dark power started leaking out. Kquime aura for every passing second, the leaking became greater in amounts. "Will you transform?" Issei in a shift of emotion suddenly became enraged and all of his aura started leaking out by massive amounts, so much so that he immediately transformed into a Kquime stage 2. "Issei. You had me off guard." Turns around to the direction of the thing. "It won't happen again." "Well, seems you're no longer startled like the mere bug you are." "Issei. The hell's with your confidence? You won't even show yourself." "I'm nowhere near you, that was just my presence behind you. Don't waste time, find me so that I may kill you." "Issei. Mind saying that again, like hell you'd kill me." The Kquime 2 boosts his confidence and IK headness. "I'll take my leave now, remember this, finding and killing me are the only ways to leave this place. Don't take too long or the real world will suffer." "Issei. I'm going to kill you, so sit tight and wait for me." The footsteps were once again getting close, and because Issei was in this form he didn't run. Quite the opposite actually, Issei ran towards them as fast as he could. As soon as Issei got to them took 0.7 seconds, Issei had seen the things that were hunting him. "Issei. These things are uglier than anything I've ever seen." 1 slash is what Issei thought would take for him to kill them. The unnatural world and creatures had other plans. "Issei. It tanked it." Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.